Hello everyone, it's another exciting episode of Connect with Eleanor. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're talking about um one of the most challenging topics out there, which is forgiveness. Specifically, forgiving what you can't forget. I've been thinking about this topic a lot lately, and I've been ruminating on the fact that forgiveness is something that we need to imbibe as part of us. It's not a religion thing, it's not about Christianity, it's about our way of living. Because you will always have people that will offend you, you always have people that will hurt you. Now, the question is this: how will you handle it? Forgiveness has been a journey. I mean, there was a time that I was carrying around this weight of unforgiveness in my heart due to the fact that someone hurt me, and I told myself that I'm not going to let this person off the hook by forgiving them. I'm going to keep, you know, having that grudge inside my heart. I was actually hurting that person, not knowing that I was stuck in the past for a very long time. But when I started learning more about this subject of forgiveness, I realized that forgiveness is not about the other person. It doesn't even have anything to do with the other person. There are some people that they receive closure when it comes to this issue of I forgive you, I let it go. But there are some people that they don't receive any closure. So now how do you navigate when things like that happen? I believe forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. It's about taking control of your life and not being stuck in the past. By the time we are done with this episode, you will be able to learn that forgiveness is all about you, not all about the person. Dive into what forgiveness actually means. Forgiveness is a process that involves letting go of negative emotions or feeling that is associated with a particular experience or a particular person. When we think about forgiveness, many of us think about the other person. This girl hurt me. I spent so much on her, and then she says she's no more interested. This particular guy, I gave the years of my life to him, and now he's saying he's no more interested in me. He has found somebody else. Forgiveness is mostly about you as an individual. Because if you don't forgive, if you don't let go, how can you move forward to the future? Now, one of the biggest misconceptions that people have with the subject of forgiveness is that it means forgetting what happened. But it's not necessarily true. Forgiveness doesn't mean that we forget the experience or the pain. Instead, it means that we are no longer controlled by those negative emotions. Now, there was a time in my life that a friend really hurt me, and every time I remember her, I remember what she did, there was always this anger inside of me, like I don't want to be friends with anybody again, this girl betrayed me, blah blah blah. But then again, when I let go and I forgave her, there was a way anytime I remember her, I don't used to have this agitation or this anger. In short, talking about her or hearing people talk about her didn't move me, didn't change the way I was feeling. That was how I knew that I already forgave her and I let it go. So I always tell people, the fact that you forgive somebody doesn't mean you forget, but at least you are relieved of the burden. Misconception that people have about forgiveness is that it's about condoning or justifying someone's behavior. But that is not what forgiveness is all about. It's not about you saying that somebody can hurt you, or you feeling like, okay, this person is off the hook, or this person is given the easy way out because I forgive them. No, someone means that you have let go of any negative emotions that has to do with that person or that experience. Truth is, until you forgive others, you can't move forward. Forgiveness that helps us to repair damaged relationship. There are some people that you forgive them and then you let them into your life again due to the fact that, okay, probably what they did is not really something that is that, how do I put it, to you anyway. Forgiveness is a choice. You have a choice whether to let it go or keep holding that grudge inside of you. Now, like I always tell people, the fact that you forgive somebody doesn't mean that you grant them access back into your life. That one is another thing entirely, because a trust has been breached already. This person has hurt you, this person has betrayed you. And now the fact that, okay, you feel better when you see them, you're no longer angry with them, doesn't mean that you grant them access into your life, or doesn't mean you are forgotten. So don't ever feel like the fact that you're forgiving somebody means that you're belittling yourself, or you are, how do I want to put it, you are you're probably undermining what that person did. No. Forgiveness is all about you and how you can move forward despite the fact that this person has hurt you. So another challenge of forgiveness is that we are always scared of being hurt again. I remember when that my friend did what she did to me, it took me a very long time to get close to anybody because I was telling myself that if I invest in this friendship again and this person betrays me, how am I going to cope? When somebody hurts us, there's a way we feel scared and we feel vulnerable. We tell ourselves that, what if I get entangled with somebody else and this person does the same thing? We feel like this person can take advantage of us again. There was a particular guy that I met that was a player. This guy is someone that is very good at making girls fall in love with him, and then later he will just tell them that he's no more interested, blah blah blah. Then when I had one-on-one conversation with him, I realized that it was because he was hurt in the past. There was this particular girl that he invested so much in her, loved that, did this and that, and then he found out that all the money and all the resources was pouring into her. She was using to take care of the other guy that she really loved, and she played this guy. So since then he made up his mind that he was not going to open up to anybody again. So he started playing girls all around. I had to let him know that you are not moving on from the past by behaving like that. Not every lady will treat you like that. The one that is for you will never treat you like that. So if you are letting another person's mistake or what another person did to you, other people are suffering for it, it's not supposed to be so. So that is why forgiveness is very essential, because it won't let you carry the hurt of your previous relationship into your next one. Forgiveness can be very challenging because it will let you confront your emotions. It will let you tell yourself that, oh my God, I was so stupid. I didn't see the signs. Sometimes we feel like the other person doesn't deserve the forgiveness, or because they are not sorry. Whether they are sorry or they are not sorry, forgiveness is not because of them, it's because of you. It's about you releasing the negative emotions that has to be with that person. When somebody just brings up the topic of that person and you're telling yourself that I don't want to talk about the person, and then you start getting angry, you start getting agitated, it's obvious that you've not forgiven that person, because you are telling yourself that because I don't forgive that person, then I'm not releasing them, blah blah blah. No, forgiveness is about you. It's about what is when somebody hurts us, there's no how you will not stay stuck in the past, because you keep ruminating over it. You will not move forward. You keep seeing everybody has that person. Immediately you notice one character, you tell yourself, this was how Femi did the other time. This was how it started. Whereas it might not even be related. Most of the marriages that we see and the relationship that we see that don't really work out like that, and then we tell ourselves that what is going on. So many people compare their past hurt, their past relationship with their present one. Whereas this individual is different. This individual has their own character. They have their own weaknesses. Sure, we accept. But it doesn't mean that they will treat you exactly the same way that person treated you. Practical steps that you can actually use to forgive someone, to go through this process of forgiveness without you feeling like you're letting this person off the hook. It's not about the person, like I said, it's about you. The first thing is acknowledge your emotions. Yes, accept the fact that this person hurt you, this person made you feel vulnerable. Give yourself permission to feel that emotion of pain. If you want to cry, let out your emotions. Acknowledge the pain and the hurt that you've experienced. Second step is that understand the situation. Try to understand what happened from a different perspective. And to understand the situation, what exactly happened. Try to see it from this person's perspective. That probably that person didn't hurt you. But in every story, there's always two sides. Okay, this girl played you, she did this, she did that. And understand the situation. Look at it from a different perspective. Or you can talk to somebody, let that person help you analyze this story from a different perspective. Because for every broken relationship, it takes two people. Two imperfect people not making things work. So it means that one way or the other, you also contributed to the situation, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. Another thing that I would say is that let go of this need for justice. Sometimes we have this resentment that, no, I will do my own back, I must revenge. No, it's not necessary. Revenge, it's not necessary, because the law of karma will surely catch up to that person, whether you even revenge or not. So don't do that. Let go. Let go of the need for this justice, this drama where there's always revenge and all. You notice that the person trying to take revenge on the other person is always miserable. Anytime you see this person, you're always getting angry. So revenge is not always the best solution when it comes to issue of hurt and past mistakes. It's better for you to let it go so that you can move forward. So let go of that need for justice. Another thing is that practice empathy. I know many of you will be like, hey, why should I empathize with the person? Try and see things from the person's perspective. This can help you understand their actions. This empathy. When my friend hurt me, I was telling myself that why would she do that? I kept seeing things from my own perspective. But then when I thought about it, I learned about her background, what she had gone through, the things that made her selfish, the things that made her tell herself that I have to be self-centered, I have to be a narcissist and put myself above others. So those were the things that made me realize that okay, I think how she treated me has mostly to do with the kind of background she had, and she was not used to having a friend or having somebody near her. And then it's kind of reduced the way I was feeling and the anger. I Even though I was still angry about the fact that she shouldn't have treated me that way, I still felt somehow for her, somehow bad for her, despite the fact that she treated me that way. Then another thing that I would say is that choose to forgive. Forgiveness is a choice. It's a decision that I will need to move forward. That anytime this person is being talked about, I'm not going to get angry. Another thing I would say is that practice self-care. Take care of yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually. Engage in activities that bring you joy. Don't ruminate over that person again. It might take time. Like I said, forgiveness is a journey. There are some people that take months to forgive. There are some people that take years to forgive. There are some people that I don't want to. In fact, when you hear the stories of people that hold people in their mind and have this growth 20 years, 30 years, you still see people holding grudges against another person, thinking that you are hurting that person. And then when you see that person smiling and doing as if everything is okay, moving on with their life, you are telling yourself, well, what the hell? After all the things you did to me, you're actually laughing, that kind of thing. You will even feel more cheated. So why don't you cheat the person by, sorry for my use of word, but why don't you, the best form of revenge is for you to be happy. The best form of revenge is for you to move forward. And I would say that talk to a family member, talk to a therapist, share your story with others. This is a journey. So instead of focusing on this issue of this person hurt you, create a narrative. Think about what you want to achieve with your life. Use that experience as a strength to encourage others, as a way to tell yourself that I need to do more with my life. I cannot let this experience bring me down. I need to be successful and let this person know that you found somebody loving, caring. So the best form of revenge is you being happy and living a fulfilling life. It's not about you holding on to that person. Giving some real life examples and questions. It's Sarah, who struggled to forgive her ex-partner for leaving her after 10 years of marriage. Sarah felt abandoned, hurt, and angry. But then, as she reflected on her feelings, she realized that holding on to resentment was consuming her. Now, she decided to forgive her ex-partner, not for his sake, but for hers. And by letting go of these negative emotions, she was able to heal and move forward with her life. I mean, imagine you having to share 10 years of marriage with somebody. Let's answer some questions so that we can get a perspective of this issue of forgiveness. John asks a question. Our first question is from John, who asks, how do I forgive somebody who hurt me a long time ago, but I'm still feeling the pain today? Now, what I would say to John is that forgiveness is a process. It's never too late. Try to acknowledge your feelings. Try to understand the situation. Choose to move forward. The pain might be there, but it doesn't mean that you will not move forward with your life. There are some people that will hurt us, that this pain will be so much embedded in our soul that it will be so difficult for us to move on. It may take some time, actually, but you can still move forward. Now, this next person says, what if forgiving somebody means they are off the hook for their actions? Does forgiveness mean I'm excusing their behavior? No, forgiveness does not mean that you're excusing their behavior or you are letting them off the hook. It means that you are releasing negative emotions that is associated with that experience. The person can still be held accountable for their actions, but at least to some extent, you have moved on with your life. As we wrap up this episode on forgiveness, I want you to realize that forgiveness is a risk that is worth taking. When we choose to forgive, we open ourselves to healing, to freedom, and to peace. But I want you to remember something, that forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about you, and it's about releasing the negative emotions and taking back bitterness and resentment hold you down. If you are struggling to forgive somebody, I encourage you to take it one step at a time. Like I said, forgiveness is a journey. It's not something that is done in a day, but at least it will help you You won't see the person and start feeling, aggressive, like I need to revenge, having this pain and hurt bottled up inside. Many of the health issues that we see out there is because we have so much emotions bottled up inside of us that we are not releasing, that we are not letting go, that is causing us to have all these health problems. So let's try as much as possible to understand that forgiveness is not all about forgetting. Forgiveness is not all about letting the person off the hook. Forgiveness is about you as an individual. Forgiveness is a journey, it's a journey of healing, it's your journey of growth. And forgiveness doesn't mean that you invite that person back into your life to hurt you. Forgiveness is a step, it's a step-by-step process. It's something that we need to, imbibe. So I would like to encourage every single one of you to practice forgiveness today, regardless of how much that person has hurt you. Try to let it go, because if you don't forgive somebody, you will be left wounded, and then a wounded animal will surely wound others. So try as much as possible to learn to forgive and let it go. Forgiveness is not about that person, it's about you. So I love you guys so much. I celebrate you. Bye.